Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hey, what's up, y'all? All right. Woo. Okay, welcome back to the second break session of this second cipher of the day. And I'm just kind of like running around, stretch it out real quick. Just running around looking for like the different parts of stuff that I'm going to need for the trip. So just kind of making sure I have the things where I thought I had them. And so, yeah, and this whole week is going to be testing like my equipment just to make sure everything is good and operational and what I want to do. So we'll see. All right. So, I added another cipher to the schedule. I have to check April because, again, I'm going to be on the trip for like almost half of April. I won't be back. So until like the 10th. Well, the next cipher is the 10th of April. And I think I'm doing something the following week. So it might not be one there. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Cool. So wanted to talk about this thing that I saw on the internet that was pretty cool. And let's talk about it. I haven't like played around too much with it, but it looked cool. And I was like, I'm gonna check this out when I have time. That's the thing. Like right now, no time whatsoever. But by doing these ciphers, it kind of reminds me like, oh yeah, that thing. Let me check that out. Okay. So this is a tweet that I saw that it came across, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. Let me just add it here. Share my screen. I'm always interested in like new ways people come up with to like frameworks and things, you know, like new ideas. And this one is pretty cool. So let me share the screen here. All right. So I saw this, I think it was the web development topic on Twitter. I'm apparently like signed up for. And I saw this tweet and it says announcing Corset. Oh, by the way, and Matthew Phillips is also a person working on Astro, which is like a little framework I've been using to build a bunch of sites. I think I might have used Astro on this site also. I have to check. But yeah, so cool stuff. So I'm like, oh, let me see what they're working on here. And so it's something called corset.dev. And so Corset is an alternative to frameworks like React and Vue. Instead of JSX/templates, you use a CSS like DSL to bind to the DOM that already exists. So you set up your DOM like as an HTML, and then all like the calculation stuff where it decides what to replace and what not to replace, things like that, is set up kind of like, it looks kind of like CSS. That's what they're trying to say. And so the difference has profound implications. And then here's the website. So pretty cool. And then there's a whole lot of like explanation and things. So, but first, let's take a preview of what Corset is. At its most minimal, this is what Corset looks like. Corset is like CSS inside of a tag template literal. Remember, tag template literals are the real MVP of like the web. They're amazing. And I've spoken about it before, like in terms of like web components, like with lit elements and all these things. So tag template literals, I don't know if you ever seen like the backspaces. Like they look like apostrophes, but like slanted kind of. And so those are template literals. And so like the JavaScript, what it'll do is like you can set a variable to equal, for example, so like, yeah, here's what the backtick looks like, right? And then here it is, the end parts. So what happened is anything in between here is kind of treated as a string, but anything that has like the dollar sign with the curly braces, that's something that would change. So it's a way, so that's a template literal. So if you were to set something equal to that, you would, and then if you like console logged it or something like that, you would see it would split it up. So like all the static stuff, so it'd be like static, not static, static, not static kind of thing, right? If I remember correctly, because I did a whole talk on this, like, wow, almost like 4 years ago. I don't need to hear there. All right, but let me see here. So yeah, so you see, so this is a template literal, right? Now, when you put something in front of it, like that's a function, then it becomes a tagged template literal. And so this function, which is coming from core set, knows what to do. It understands this syntax and knows what to do, and it's saying to update the document, which is your DOM, the thing that you have already kind of written out, I believe. So, because you know, like document dot query selector or whatever. So this doc, so you're passing in the document that has your DOM, like your structure, like your H1s and all that stuff. And so it knows to do that. So it's going to take the name variable that's set to world, and it'll know. So you'll have so there's like text, hello, and then it'll put in, it's a variable, and it's called name. And so this is similar to like CSS variables, it looks like as well. So yeah, and so so look more into it, I guess. But yeah, so it's so you said that, cool. So yeah, so core set is like CSS inside of a tag template literal that does DOM binding instead of styling. Cool. Okay, so it has selectors, properties for binding, and even the var you're familiar with, like I said, CSS variables. So okay, so now here's the counter. Counter is like the hello world kind of like of like a functional kind of like thing that you can create, like the base level. And so here's another example of counter in core set. You can try it out in a code pen. So there's a code pen here. So we'll take a look at that. But right here, so we have this sheet that we saw before, and there's a mount. I guess once it's ready, it'll call the mount. So okay, so mount, the document, and the class. Okay, so I guess this class is kind of like class, not like the CSS class. So you're setting the count equal to 0, and then you're binding this. So I wonder if so you're binding the constant count to this. So okay, so it's to this instance, and then you're returning the sheet, and then so here's counter, and then cool count there, the same variable, and then you have increment and decrement, and you're saying what to do. Okay, I guess dollar sign, because it's going to be like a function that's going to return the value. Cool. Let's see. And then you have count, the text, so the text of it is going to be the value. And then you increment, you're going to the event, it's a click. So I guess a click event. And then what's going to pass in is the increment like little function thing here. And then decrement. Oh, okay. So if it's 0, you can't go below 0. So that's why it's going to be disabled. But if it's not that, then you do that. It's interesting syntax, something you have to kind of like get used to. So let's take a look at the code pen here. So yeah, so you see this the button is disabled. You can't do anything because it's at 0. Interesting. I want to see what the CSS looks like. I mean the actual HTML. All right, so we have an article. Cool. So yeah, okay, so class counter. So I guess that's how so it's using the selectors. Where to go? Counter. So yeah, so I guess the same dot counter refers to that. Should work for IDs also, I guess. And then you can see here, well, you don't really need to look at the CSS or anything. But, all right, so we saw before, dot count. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is the count here that's referring to that dot count, the same way that this dot counter is referring to this. Cool. Oh, and then you're saying the text of it, so like the inner text or what have you, is going, the var is going to be this value, this variable count. Okay, cool. And then to increment it, so let me guess, so increment, yep, class increment. So that's how it's being set there. That's how you call, that's how you like, that's how you attach it to there. So this is like an event listener, looks like. So instead of doing like document.query selector or get element by ID or element by class name or whatever, you're just putting it this way as if it was like CSS. Because if you were pointing to this in CSS, you would have that same sort of syntax. Okay, all right, cool. And then so then you put in the event listener. So it's a click, and then you're incrementing it. All right, cool. And then, so same thing in decrement. And then you have, okay, so you can toggle an attribute disabled. Okay, cool. And then if it's equal to 0, interesting. So all the stuff that's going to be calculated, I mean, that makes sense because it's a tag template literal. So things that are going to be like variables that are going to change. So the count is going to change. So it's going to kind of like, I guess, cause a re-render to make it. So if you increment it, see now it's, you can click it. That's pretty cool. Very nice. I mean, like, if you're into CSS, like this is a pretty good syntax. I like it. It's not like a huge leap. You know what I mean? So it's kind of building off of what's kind of like already known if you deal with CSS. That's pretty cool. And again, this is just tag template literal stuff. So this just kind of makes sense. So this is just like saying the variable, and that's why it's there as well. So you're setting the variable to the function, and so that's why it knows what to do. That's pretty cool. So it's like using all this stuff that's kind of already there, but like the magic that happens. So the binding, I guess kind of like if it's like on, well, there's the on mount and what you're mounting to, and here's the class. So just kind of remembering that. But that's not too bad. That's pretty cool. And then you're just saying, hey, this is to this. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. All right. It's funny not seeing like the super, because I'm always, whenever I see a class, I'm always expecting like super somewhere. I guess it's that in the mounts. And yeah, that's cool. So I guess mount understands it's going to receive like the DOM and the class that's going to be attached to it. That's cool. So I wonder if there's other stuff like unmounts and all those things. So like when you get rid of it, does it clean it up? Okay, so yeah, so that's probably all inside of the thing. So now, okay, back to the Twitter thread. Oh, I spent way too much time on this. Okay, cool. Let's see. So then you can mount a core set behavior, which are a little like the component minus the template. Huh. Okay. To any element and control it with the power of binding sheets. All right. So yeah, one way to think of core set is jQuery if it were declarative. All right. So we saw the text, the attributes when it's disabled the attributes, classes, events. We saw that with like the click. I don't think we saw the data attribute stuff. Okay, and they have like a list iteration, so like a for each kind of thing. Okay. And then so why did they do it? I wanted a way to build interactive UI without compromises and without the complexity of isomorphism. Don't take it from me. The experts are writing often about how the problem of rehydration is very hard. So for example, they have these things. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter what you use. If it produces HTML, of course it can bring it to life because it's just on the DOM that's there already. All right, cool. And there's the same toggle thing. And then you can attach the template, which is an admin template. Interesting. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff here you can read about. Okay, I want to check out the website really quickly. So here it is. Let's see how fast it loads. Very nice. You know what? Let me see. Let's do a kind of curious. I'm sure they're using Corset for this. So let's run a quick Lighthouse score on it. And why didn't that take? Okay, maybe not. Why doesn't my Lighthouse pull up? Weird. Come on. What's wrong with this thing? Show Lighthouse. Okay, or not. You don't have to. Okay, cool. Whatever. If you don't want to show, that's fine. It went there. I want to go to the Lighthouse. There we go. That was super weird. Yeah, sure. Let's just generate, see what happens. Kind of curious to see how this comes out. So I'm assuming you don't, there's nothing you have to like build or anything. Okay. Interesting. So let's take a look at Get Started. What's this? Cool, nice. Use any backend you like. All right, cool. So this is, yeah, the same counter example we saw before. Okay, let's get started. That loaded pretty quickly, nice. So you can do the CDN like we saw before. Cool. If you want to get real fancy with the latest, you can do that. So yeah, the default export is a tag template function that we were talking about before. Okay, which is a sheet, I believe. And you can install it with npm. That's how you put it in there. And then there's Vite. So I guess with Vite, yeah, you'd have to have this. Okay, so yeah, so when Vite builds, you have to build it with ES next, because I guess with the tag template literals and all that stuff that it's doing, it's probably doing more. No, ES tag template literals came out in I think ES 6, I believe, with arrow functions, if I remember. Again, I have a horrible memory. Okay, so then you're going to exclude Corset. Okay, all right, cool. All right, then you can use CodePen. Oh, that's cool. So he has like starter things. That's pretty cool. Oh, and then you can also use TypeScript. We spoke about TypeScript earlier. And he has some demos. That's cool. And then here's a spa pattern thing. Oh, you can load like using fetch. Oh, so demonstrate creating a custom fetch function. That's cool. And then XState integration. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is there like a menu? How do I, or is this it? Okay, documentation. API. Okay, this is not a lot. So properties. Let's see. So yeah, here's that text we saw before, chat toggle, attributes, attribute value. Okay, longhand. Oh, okay, shorthand for attribute. So I guess you could just use ATTR for either one. Interesting. Okay. Event capture. That's cool. Event once, event passive. Oh, it will not call prevent default. So okay. And then looping, so like each items. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it has a store. That's cool. So you can create a store where the state can be shared. Interesting. I wonder how that works. That's probably under the spa. But no, this looks good. You can see a lot of work has been put into it. So that's really cool. Always good to see. And so yeah, so inherits from CSS syntax, providing straightforward ways to bind to DOM for every scenario you have. And optimize to only recompute when something changes in your sheet. So like with the whole tag template literal, what's cool is it knows with the $ curly brackets, it knows those things are going to change. So if your function is able to like tag those areas or something, like I don't know if you ever look at certain like frameworks, like what comes out of them, like Svelte, for example, you'll see like a class with a like Svelte dash something, and that's how it keeps track of the different values and stuff. It's pretty cool stuff, and so it prevents you from worrying about performance. And then Corsa is based on progressive enhancement and industry best practice, and doesn't care or need to know how you build your backend. Because yeah, all it cares about is just the HTML that's there, and it just binds to that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What do these shapes mean? I wonder if that somehow spells Corsa. I see an R here. I don't know. Cool. But yeah, no, that's really good. Probably play with some of the examples. I'm glad there's like examples you can check out and stuff. So, all right, enough talking about this. This is pretty cool. I'm digging it. So shouts to Matthew Phillips. It's really cool. Go look more into it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. Especially, I wonder if because it shouldn't be a problem to include it with Astro build. I wonder if you can, because the Astro files are just basically like HTML. Then I wonder if you can use Corset to like call it, attach it to it, and make it. Wonder how that would work. Might be something kind of interesting. It'd be interesting to see like an Astro example, like because Astro just does like strips out and everything. Wonder how that would work. Oh, that's cool. I don't know. Things that I think about. So, but yeah, looks cool. If you like the CSS syntax and you think, it's not as far as like a jump to try and remember everything, might be a cool thing to check out. So I just wanted to bring some attention to it. Not like I have a huge audience or anything, but that was pretty cool. And it gives me a chance to kind of like check it out and kind of know what's out there. But yeah, super cool stuff. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. All right, so what do you think? Like, it's yet another framework, but it's something different in the way of its thinking. And I like that when there's other frameworks out there to help other people. If it makes more sense, like use what makes sense to you. That's my thing, because you're more willing to keep working on whatever it is that you're working on. If you so you don't have to keep worrying about, oh wait, how do you do that again? It doesn't make any sense, kind of thing. So if it makes sense to you and use it, then yeah, I mean that's cool. I dig it, especially if like it's your own project. Now, if you have like a bigger project with multiple people and stuff, then you have to kind of like compromise. But if it's just something that you're working on, and then maybe you can show other people like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's how things grow, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's cool. And yeah, I'm gonna get y'all back to work because I got stuff to do as well. I'm acting like I don't have stuff to do. All right. Okay, make sure I got everything good. Oh, I didn't save the actual website. Let me save the website to the list of links. I just saved the actual tweet. All right, so thanks again for hanging out, y'all. I'm gonna send y'all back. Remember, if you want to sign up or anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna take a look at an artist's website and listen to some music and some videos and stuff, watch some videos. But yeah, gonna send you all off with some traveling music. This is the Nujabes featuring Apani B. The track is called Thank You. And hold on, give me a second here. Way too much stuff. Share my screen. Sure. But yeah, also check out that Twitter thread because there's people asking questions and they're kind of answering and stuff. So yeah, you can check it out. All right. Share. All right. Thanks again, y'all. I will see you 15 minutes after the hour for the final. The day went by so quick for the final break session of the day. All right. So thank you very much. I wish you much productivity and see y'all soon. Thanks again, y'all. See you later.
But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank all for showing love to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for showing love to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank you all for showing love to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for showing love to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music gives more meaning to life. But let me start from the heart. I just want to say I thank you all for showing love to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity.